Finance class, here we are with lesson 2.4, and 2.4 is an introduction into compound interest. So let's go over what we've learned so far. In 2.3, we had something called simple interest. And simple interest is simply interest earned on the initial deposit only. Okay, so simple interest is only money that you earn with your original deposit. So compound interest calculates interest on the total of your account. So compound interest is calculated, or is interest earned on the deposit and the sum of deposit and interest. So it's a running total. It's like this year's it's interest taken on the total. Where simple interest is only on your deposit, compound interest is on the total in the account. So you can make a lot more with compound interest. Now, a couple of things. Interest can be compounded many ways. And when we say compounded, we mean how often. So picture it this way. You put your money in a bank. How often is the bank calculating your interest? And so that's the compounded part. How often is the bank calculating the interest on your money? And so it can be a couple ways. Okay, it could be annual. It could be semi-annual. It could be quarterly. It could be monthly or daily. Those are some of the most common. Annually would mean that it's once a year. Okay, so that means they would only calculate it one time, and that is where we'd call that basically simple interest. Okay, that'd be like your simple interest. Semi-annually is twice a year or every 6 months. Quarterly means it's compounded every quarter or every 3 months or 4 times a year. So quarter, there are 4 quarters in $1. So quarterly would be 4 times a year. So you have annual, semi-annual, quarterly. Monthly would mean it's every month, right? Or 12 times a year. Daily would mean that it's calculated every day. So this would be 12 times a year. This would be every day, or 365 times, because there are 365 days in the year. So today we're going to be calculating compound interest by hand and calculating it by a portion of the year. So it's really, really careful that we look at what it would mean to be a portion of the year. Okay, so I'm going to do some problems with you, kind of going over all of this, and it should look a lot like your homework. So really quick, let's review that simple interest formula. Simple interest is I equals P times the rate times t. And t is in terms of a year. So we have to take into account if it's not in terms of 1 year. Okay, so number 1, let's review, and you guys can print this. How much interest would $2,000 earn in 1 year at the rate of 1.2%? So that would be interest equals 2,000 times 0.012 times 1 year. Okay, so I'm going to enter that in my calculator, and I don't have that near me. You could also enter it in Desmos. That's what I did a lot of these calculations on when I don't have my calculator on me, and I get 24. So the answer is $24. Okay, how much interest would 2,000 earn compounded annually in 2 years at the rate of 1.2%? Okay, so here's how we're going to calculate it. I'm going to take 2,000, right, times 0.012, and I'm going to figure it out for the first year. So I'm going to enter this in my calculator. Now, I already know that this gave me $24 because I calculated that above. So then I'm going to add $2,000 plus the 24 I earned, and I get 24. So now in the second year, I now am basing my total on what I had from the first year. So that's the difference between simple interest. Simple interest always uses the original deposit. In compounded interest, I am now using the total from year 1. So this is year 1. I have $2,024 in my account. So the second year, I have $2,024 times my rate, and that gives me $24.29. So total interest would be 24 plus 24.29, and that would give me $48.29. So that's the interest earned in the first year plus the interest earned in the second year. Okay? Next one, how much interest would 2,000 earn with simple interest in 2 years at the rate? Simple interest would mean the same amount each year. So 24 plus 24 would just be $48. And where am I getting the 24? Because that's what I calculated up here. Compare my answers. The compounded interest is 29 cents more because I'm calculating it on the previous total. Okay. Number 5, how much D dollars in 1 year, so times 1, times the rate of P% compounded annually. And that's all I have is D times P. Number 6, she deposits $1,000 in an account savings paying 0.014, compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually means 6 months, every 6 months. 6 months is 1/2 of a year. So for T, I'm going to use 1/2 because 6 months equals 1/2 of a year. Okay, so I'm finding the balance in the first 6 months. So 1,000 times 0.014 times 1/2. I'm going to enter as 0.5. And so she earns $7. So now her total is 1,007. Okay, so now I'm going to take 1,007 because this is the next 6 months. So now I'm calculating the interest on the second set of 6 months. So think of this